Fermentation is a natural process in which microorganisms, such as bacteria and yeast, convert sugars into acids, gases, or alcohol. This transformation not only preserves food, but also creates complex flavors and nutritional benefits. Take kimchi, for example, a traditional Korean dish where cabbage ferments with lactic acid bacteria, resulting in a tangy, spicy, and probiotic-rich food. Similarly, kombucha is a fermented tea produced by a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, often called a SCOBY, which transforms sweetened tea into a lightly effervescent, slightly vinegary beverage. What exactly drives these transformations? The key lies in the metabolic pathways of the microorganisms. In the case of kimchi, lactic acid bacteria break down sugars present in the vegetables, producing lactic acid. This acid not only contributes to the characteristic sour taste, but also lowers the pH, creating an environment that inhibits spoilage causing microbes. In kombucha, the process is more complex. Yeast first converts sugars into alcohol, which is then oxidized by bacteria into acetic acid and other organic acids. This dual-stage process yields a beverage that is both mildly alcoholic and acidic. How do these processes benefit our health? Fermentation can increase the bioavailability of nutrients and introduce beneficial probiotics into our diet. For example, the probiotic bacteria in kimchi may aid digestion and support immune function, while the acids produced during kombucha fermentation can contribute to gut health by promoting a balanced microbiome. Moreover, the flavor complexity created during fermentation has led to a growing interest in these foods as both culinary delights and functional foods. From a scientific perspective, fermentation is an excellent example of a controlled biochemical reaction. Researchers study these processes not only to optimize food production, but also to understand the underlying microbial ecosystems. Experiments often involve carefully monitoring factors like temperature, pH, and oxygen levels, as these variables can significantly influence the fermentation outcome. For instance, a slight change in temperature might speed up the fermentation process in kombucha, but it could also lead to over-fermentation, resulting in a too vinegary taste. How can one strike the right balance? The answer lies in understanding and controlling the specific conditions that favor the desired microbial activity. Fermentation also plays a crucial role in sustainability. It can extend the shelf life of perishable foods without the need for artificial preservatives, reducing food waste. Traditional practices like fermenting vegetables, fruits, and dairy products have been passed down through generations, demonstrating both cultural significance and practical benefits. In conclusion, the science of fermentation spans a fascinating intersection of microbiology, chemistry, and culinary art. Whether it's the robust flavors of kimchi or the subtle tang of kombucha, these processes showcase how simple biochemical reactions can transform raw ingredients into foods with enhanced taste, preservation, and health benefits. How can a deeper understanding of fermentation improve our food systems and nutritional well-being? By exploring and controlling these microbial processes, scientists and chefs alike can continue to innovate and optimize both traditional and modern fermented products, enriching our diets and promoting a sustainable future. Fermentation is a metabolic process in which microorganisms convert sugars into acids, gases, or alcohol in the absence of oxygen. This process has been used for centuries to preserve food, enhance flavors, and create beverages. It relies on the activity of bacteria, yeast, and sometimes molds to break down organic compounds. Fermentation illustrates how biological processes can transform simple ingredients into complex and beneficial products. For instance, traditional foods like kimchi and beverages like kombucha are produced through controlled fermentation, which enhances taste and nutritional value. It's like a natural kitchen magic show where simple ingredients are transformed into delicious, long-lasting creations without any added preservatives. Microorganisms such as lactic acid bacteria and yeast are the key drivers of fermentation, each contributing specific enzymes and metabolic pathways. These microbes thrive in environments devoid of oxygen and convert sugars into various byproducts like lactic acid, ethanol, or carbon dioxide. Their activity not only preserves the food, but also develops unique flavors and textures. Understanding which microbes are present is crucial for controlling and optimizing fermentation outcomes. For example, in kimchi fermentation, lactic acid bacteria lower the pH by producing lactic acid, which preserves the vegetables and gives them a tangy flavor. It's like having a team of skilled workers in a factory where each worker specializes in a task that transforms raw materials into a finished product with distinct characteristics. Fermentation involves a series of biochemical reactions where sugars are broken down into simpler compounds through enzymatic activity. These reactions produce energy for the microbes and generate byproducts that influence the flavor, texture, and aroma of the fermented product. The balance of reactions can be altered by temperature, pH, and the type of microorganism involved. This interplay of chemical processes is central to achieving the desired qualities in fermented foods and beverages. For example, during kombucha fermentation, yeast converts sugars into alcohol, which is then used by bacteria to produce acetic acid, resulting in a tangy, slightly effervescent drink. It's like following a multi-step recipe where each step transforms the ingredients further, eventually resulting in a complex dish with layers of flavor. The environment in which fermentation occurs, including temperature, pH, and salt concentration, plays a critical role in determining the outcome. Controlled conditions ensure that the desired microbes dominate the process, while unwanted contaminants are suppressed. Precise regulation of these factors can lead to consistent and predictable fermentation results. This scientific approach to fermentation allows for the production of high-quality, safe, and flavorful products. For example, maintaining an optimal temperature range is essential when fermenting kimchi to ensure that lactic acid bacteria produce the right level of acidity for preservation and taste. It's like setting the perfect oven temperature for baking. A little too hot or too cold, and the final product won't turn out as expected. Kimchi is a traditional fermented food made primarily from cabbage and other vegetables, relying on lactic acid bacteria for its preservation and flavor development. The fermentation process in kimchi lowers the pH, creating an environment that inhibits spoilage while enhancing the taste and nutritional profile. Various spices and seasonings are added to influence the microbial activity and final flavor. This controlled fermentation results in a food product that is both healthful and richly flavored. For example, during kimchi fermentation, the buildup of lactic acid not only preserves the vegetables, but also imparts a distinctive sour taste that is appreciated in Korean cuisine. It's like marinating ingredients in a special sauce. The process infuses the vegetables with complex flavors and helps preserve them for longer periods. Kombucha is a fermented tea beverage produced by a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, SCUBI, that transforms sweetened tea into a tangy, slightly effervescent drink. The fermentation process converts sugars into ethanol and acetic acid, which gives kombucha its characteristic flavor and preservative properties. This beverage is valued for its potential probiotic benefits and unique taste. The controlled fermentation in kombucha exemplifies how microbial interactions can be harnessed to create complex beverages. For example, during kombucha fermentation, the SCOBY continuously processes the tea, balancing the production of alcohol and acids to create a refreshing drink with health benefits. It's like brewing a fine wine. Over time, the ingredients transform under the influence of microbial activity, resulting in a beverage with depth, complexity, and a unique profile. Fermented foods and beverages often contain enhanced levels of beneficial probiotics, vitamins, and enzymes due to the activity of microorganisms. These nutrients can aid digestion, boost the immune system, and improve overall gut health. The fermentation process can also increase the bioavailability of certain nutrients, making them easier for the body to absorb. This scientific advantage contributes to the growing popularity of fermented products in healthy diets worldwide. For example, regular consumption of kombucha is associated with improved digestion and a strengthened immune system, partly due to the probiotics it contains. It's like adding a natural multivitamin to your diet. The fermentation process enhances the nutritional content, making the food not only tastier, but also more beneficial for your health. Modern technology has enabled precise control over fermentation processes through temperature regulation, automated pH adjustments, and advanced microbial monitoring. These innovations allow producers to optimize the conditions for fermentation, resulting in consistent and high-quality products. Technological advances also help scale up production while maintaining safety and flavor standards. This integration of technology and traditional fermentation methods exemplifies the fusion of science and culinary art. For example, high-tech fermentation chambers with computerized controls are used in commercial kombucha production to ensure that each batch meets strict quality and safety standards. It's like using a smart oven with programmable settings. It takes the guesswork out of cooking, ensuring that every meal is prepared perfectly every time. Future research in fermentation science is focused on optimizing microbial cultures, enhancing nutritional profiles, and developing novel applications in food and medicine. Advances in biotechnology and genetic engineering may allow for the creation of tailored fermentation processes that produce specific health benefits or unique flavors. This evolving field continues to blend traditional practices with cutting-edge science to meet the demands of modern consumers. The ongoing innovations promise to expand the diversity and utility of fermented products in our diets and health regimens. For example, emerging studies are exploring how genetically modified microbes can be used to ferment foods with enhanced probiotic properties, or to produce new flavors that cater to specific dietary needs. It's like upgrading your favorite recipe with new ingredients and modern techniques to create an even more delicious and nutritious dish. Innovation in fermentation continues to enhance what nature and tradition already offer.